Splaw Man Presents. This is Splaw Man. So you got an audit notification. Oh man, so what's the first thing you should do? Well, the first thing you should probably do is breathe, because it's not going to be solved overnight. You don't need to overreact to anything. Like I worked with some hosters that actually cursed out the auditor. That doesn't help, especially when it comes settlement time. But yeah, the main thing I would do is first breathe. The other thing I would do is understand your use rights. And what I mean by that is there's some actual benefits to SPLA that a lot of hosters are unaware of. You may be asking, benefits? Well, yeah, like look at the testing and administration clause in the SPLA indirect agreement. Now, that's a mouthful, but you're allowed 20 users per data center to be able to provide access to be able to provide administration services for the customer. The other thing though, on top of that, if you look at page 40 of the SPUR, those playing at home, you're also allowed 2 users per licensed server in addition to those 20 users. So that can really add up. Now the problem is, how do you keep track of all this? Well, that's the reason why Octopus Cloud comes into the picture, right? Like we're able to track all these different user environments in a multi-tenant fashion, which basically is SPLA, right? Most hosters have a multi-tenant environment, and therefore there's very few tools out there that can actually track this, and Octopus is of course one of them. And I think it's really important that you're able to track these different end customer environments as well as what's going on inside your data center to be able to proactively know your risk before it becomes a risk to an auditor. And so I think it's really important for you. The second step is, pay attention to your use rights, and again, work with somebody who knows these use rights inside and out. So don't overreact. Pay attention to what rules apply and when they don't. I'd also make sure that you have your legal team just check over the Master Services Agreement by Microsoft, because that's where there's some audit information that goes through what they can and cannot do as it relates to the audit, how far back they can go, which agreement does this audit even apply towards, I think is also important. You may have multiple agreements, and maybe sometimes they may not even be auditing an agreement, some other agreement that you may have. You may be exposing yourself when you didn't need to be exposed. The other thing I would also do is join our community. Now, why do I say that? Well, because our community is a collective group of hosters globally that have gone through an audit, or maybe can provide some advice, or maybe all of you have a typical licensing question that we can solve together that may be difficult, or maybe someone else has encountered this licensing scenario. So it's really important for us as a community to be able to come together and help each other grow our mutual business. But the main thing is, when you get an audit, just breathe, and you will get through it, I promise. If you have questions on any of this, again, hit us up in the community.octopus.cloud. And again, we're going to do these videos quite frequently. Sometimes I repeat myself only because I get asked a lot of the same questions over and over again. I think it's really important that we pay attention to that. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.